How's it going, everybody? I just want to put a quick preface on this video. I kind of realized after I finished recording kind of the last of the clips for this video that I never really mentioned super well or super clearly that this is going to be a series. I do want to make more videos, and I do have one hopefully coming out about the furniture side of the business too, either along with this one or shortly after. And we're going to go into different aspects of the business and how we're growing it between that series and this one. And it's not all just going to be, watching me unload stuff out of a truck and getting updates and stuff like that. That is a very small part. I want to focus on getting some new processes in and some actual exciting stuff and grow the business and share some updates. But just for now, this is what we got for today. I'm actually down here now getting some more stuff listed up after I finish recording. So yeah, I just want to say stay tuned. This is not it. If this really wasn't your jam, we will have more stuff coming. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. How's it going, everybody? Ben, White Pine Resale. Down here making a YouTube video. Making a YouTube video today because we got some super exciting stuff going on. A little more than I wanted to try to fit into a minute Instagram reel. So what we got going on today? Well, first this morning we got 5 sales, which is, it's pretty good. Lately we've been lacking a little bit on the sales. The biggest reason is because we haven't really had a whole lot to list. We bought a whole lot in December. They got me through December and January, but then the last couple weeks of January and this first week of February, I haven't had much listing going on. So sales have been kind of declining a little bit, but we got all this listed with the exception of one shelf over there. We have about 400 and a couple extra items up in here for sale right now, with a total value between 32 and 33,000. So not bad. Getting a couple sales a day still with that numbers. But I definitely want to list more, definitely want to stay active on eBay. So last week I finished signing up for my B-Stock account and I won an auction last Friday. It's Friday again, so it's been a week, which is 1,200 items with a total value of 39,500 and some change. So a little bit lower value per item than what we have in here right now, but it's a good amount of items and it should keep me busy for a couple weeks until I can kind of find a better auction to win. So happy with that potential because I definitely paid a lot more for the ones I have in here than I did for that auction, even though that auction is more than what I have in here. So I don't even know what I paid for everything in here. I consider it all paid off because we've had pretty good sales the last couple months. But for this auction, I paid $1,856, I think. So not too bad. But it's about 8:30 now. It's supposed to be coming between 1 and 5. I just wanted to kind of show you the before video of what this place looks like. It's full, but definitely could be fuller. So I don't exactly know what we're going to do with 3 pallets of stuff yet. But that is a problem that I get to solve this afternoon after I get this stuff shipped out. So, yeah, I guess I'll talk to you guys when the pallets show up. So the pallets just came a little while ago. They actually came way early. They were supposed to come between 1 and 5, and they got here at 11:30. So I'm actually kind of happy because it'll give me some more time to deal with them today. And turn around so you can take a little peek at them. Maybe. There we go. So there's 3 of them. They're these Gaylord boxes, and they're all stacked pretty high and pretty heavy. So we got to go make some room to actually fit them down at the unit. So we're going to go on that little adventure first as it's blowing and snowing out here. And then we're going to come back and get them and hopefully get them all unloaded tonight. If not, first thing in the morning. So yeah, start on this adventure. All right, so we're back here at the unit. This is my second unit. I have 2. This is actually the first 10x40 unit I got. And then the second 10x40 is what we were in this morning that has all the car parts in it now. The nice part about these 10x40s is, I don't know if you can see it, but they have doors on both ends. So I can open up both sides of this on both my units and kind of walk all the way around them. But this one is it was meant to be my furniture unit, but it's kind of acted now as my overflow unit for some car parts and stuff. Here, I'll turn you around so you can see. So it's got a lot of those car parts back there. There's actually not a ton. This just kind of piled poorly. So this side, there is some furniture back here that I want to leave here. But then kind of all this stuff in the middle, I want to either take out if I don't want it, or just move it back. And then have that end open. And then that end is where we're going to put all the new stuff. And then we'll be able just to kind of open up the other door on the other one, kind of walk and grab stuff back and forth, and then put it on shelves in there. But now that I finally have that unit clean, I don't really want to sacrifice how clean it is. So this is the best solution I've got for now. But it is windy here, so I probably won't record much of the process, but all we're going to do is just start cleaning, and then we're going to put up these string lights like I have in the other unit. They provide a pretty good light. They're 50 feet, the units are 40 feet, so we can actually get a pretty good light up in here. But it's windy, and when it blows wind out here, it kind of shakes the metal storage units, and it's really loud. So I'm going to get started on that project, and I will check back in when we have some more progress. All right, so status update. My hair's a little bit crazy, I'm wearing a hat. We got it cleaned up a bit in here. We got to do more. We got lights up, and they're not spaced properly, and I meant to get zip ties so I can make them little zip tie hangers, but I forgot my zip ties in my car when I went back to get a couple of the pallets, so it's good enough for now. But I'm gonna step outside, so hopefully the wind doesn't get too terrible. Ew. This is what we're working with for now, kind of the back 10 feet or so, and then we can kind of go up the middle a little bit. I still got to take a lot of that stuff in the middle is going to go. It's going to be trash, so we're going to take that with us when we go. But the truck, as you can see, is full. Those are 2 of the 3 pallets, so we're going to unload those 2, and if we still have daylight, we'll unload the 3rd. Yeah, just want to give you an update. So it is cleaner. We have lights, and it's time to start unloading, which kind of sucks because the wind has decided now is the time to pick up. But just to show you kind of what it will be like when we're done. So this is where the parts are going to be. And then that door over there that's open is where the car part unit is. So it's 2 doors down, 3 doors down. So won't be too bad. We can just kind of get a load, walk it over there, plug our lights in, work in here, and we should be good to go. So yeah, time to find a box cutter and get the first 2 pallets off. So I guess I'll report back when we get those off, or if I find anything really cool. Okay, just finished getting the first pallet unloaded. You see I broke the box down sitting under the pallet so I can haul it home. And this is what we are working with here. So this is a pile of the first stuff, and then kind of some of the highlights. So I got this mug. It says I like big mugs and I cannot lie. It's a half-gallon mug, but the handles broke off. So I think we're just going to keep him as a pen holder or something. I got the Tesla Kleenexes, and yes, that does say sexy Tesla Kleenexes. The Iron Man Monster Jam RC monster truck, some American flag socks, and 4 6-packs of peach ginger spritz, Little Trees scents. We got some extra ratchet straps, which are always cool, and some other interesting stuff that I don't know where it ended up. But yeah, it's just to show you again. That's pallet 1. So I mean, it's going to be pretty full by the time we get all 3 of them in here. But initial thoughts, it's not bad. It's a lot of $20 to $30 stuff, which I mean, I knew that from looking at the manifest. Really, my biggest goal for this, I want to get the store to 1,000 items. I mean, this pallet had 1,200 items on it, and my store is currently at a little over 400. If I can find 600 items to list out of those 1,200, because a lot of them are just stuff like spark plugs, or I got like some ATF fluid or leather conditioner up there from, auto accessory kind of stuff. If I can find 600 items to list out of this, I'll be happy. I want to get the store to 1,000 items, and if I can get the total value to $50,000 up from $32,000, that'd be good too. The total value of this one was $39,500 and some change. So if I can get the store to $50,000 total and 1,000 items, and it keeps me busy until I can find a slightly better lot to buy, I think that's a win from this. I don't think it's going to be, the load that makes me rich, but it is going to be pretty consistent listing potential for the next couple months while I kind of work on some other stuff and getting this cleared out a little bit more and optimizing. Ooh, just fogged the screen. My bad. It's cold out here. Once that sun went down, it got really, really cold. So we're going to call it a night. We're going to go home. We're going to take that pallet that I got unloaded out, and we're going to load the other one in, and we'll get the other 2 out tomorrow. So final update for the night. Feeling pretty good about it so far. Got some of the high dollar items off of here too, which is I'm good to see they're in good condition because there's not a ton of them. And if they were busted, it was going to be a much harder task to make the money back. But I found 2, I think, of the top 5, and they're both in good condition. I'll show you really quick. So it's this little gauge thing right here. It's a autometer RPM gauge. And then over here it is this starter, which they both look pretty good. So hopefully we can get those listed up first and start to recomp some of the buy costs. But yeah, final update of the evening. I am freezing to death. I'm going home. This is what I got unloaded tonight, and I'll update you guys again tomorrow. All right, it is the next morning. We have the last 2 pallets. Okay, I say last 2. We have 2 of the 3 on there still to unload. It's going to be done this morning. It is actually colder than when I was out here last night, but I brought more layers, so hopefully it'll be all right. And I think we're going to get these off, and then we might actually just get into going through some of it. Probably in this video, we'll mostly just focus on kind of getting it off and talking about what we got. But we might do a little bit of work, a little bit of listing, a little bit of sorting through, because there's just a lot, and I can pretty immediately, looking at this pile, tell some of it can already go. It's just trash, which is returns. It happens, so it's cool. Current thoughts on it. I'm still happy with it. After sleeping on it, I'm still happy with it. I think it'll be a good start, because I looked yesterday at the auctions and there was 3 up. One was 60,000, and then one was 25,000. One was 15,000. So there's plenty more opportunity to buy these and sell these and all that, which I didn't have access to before I got my B-Stock account set up. So happy to have kind of just that opportunity always there, and now it really just makes the limiting factor how fast we can list and sell this stuff. So I think definitely we're going to need to work on some better processes to get stuff listed, and listed both faster but also better. I think my listing quality has been not bad but not great. I think I've mostly coasted by on having better titles than everybody else. I think it's been the biggest differentiator for me the last couple months. But I really want to get into doing item specifics and all that, and then also posting on the website as well, because I don't hate eBay, but it's not where I want to be forever, and I'd really like to focus on building the website as well. So yeah, we're gonna get bundled up, get those unstrapped, get those unloaded, and then it's actually probably going to be pretty full in here, and it's probably going to take a couple hours, because it took me about an hour and 20 to get that one off last night, and I have 2 of them. So take that back one off. We're gonna ratchet strap the front one, pull it to the back, and then get that one off, and then we'll see where we're at. All right, so we got everything unloaded. It took about an hour and a half per pallet to get all that unloaded, just because hand loading is so darn slow. But this is what we ended up with. So you can see, I don't think the camera really does it justice, even if I turn it around. It's a lot, don't get me wrong. I just don't think the camera shows it as fully as it is. It goes back down that middle a little bit too, but I guess you'll just have to compare it to kind of what it looked like in the previous clips. It's pretty good. If I had 2 complaints, the one would be like, so for a lot of stuff like these oil filter boxes and stuff, when you put weight on them, they just kind of explode because they're really thin boxes. So the nice part, they all have kind of mostly have part numbers on them, so it's not too big of a deal because I can still figure out what they are. But I think stuff like brake pads, I had some that were just sitting in the bottom of kind of the pallets. So there's definitely going to be some misplaced parts that I might not be able to really get back together super easily, which is okay. I mean, it's just going to happen with this kind of quantity. The second complaint that I would have is there was a lot of fluids in here. And I mean, everything from antifreeze, transmission fluid, to various like waxes and coatings for your paint. And a lot of them have like this like seal thing over the lids to help stop leaks. And that did not much at all. But thankfully, most of the fluids that were in there froze, so it didn't really cause too much of a mess. There was a couple, and there were a couple that were really close to causing a mess. I'm just happy like none of the transmission fluids exploded, because some of those stink quite bad, and I would have been kind of pissed if all my parts stank. But it didn't, so we're just going to call that a win. But we're just going to get right into listing. But naturally, I didn't bring my laptop or a printout of the manifest or anything, because, you know, why would I do anything smart like that? So we're mostly just going to focus today on stuff that has part numbers on it. So if I turn you around, like this filter, a lot of the filters will have the filter, oh, hiding it, where'd it go? There it is, the filter numbers on them, and I mean wicks and stuff like that will be very well documented. GM genuine part stickers look like this, and then that's the part numbers. Those are really easy to document. And then a lot of the stuff here at the front is kind of the bigger stuff, so like power steering pump, suspension, all that. And then it's just kind of a lot more like sensors and everything miscellaneous in there. So a lot of the bigger stuff and a lot of the value is boom right here in the front. So kind of the plan, not just today. Today we'll mostly, like I said, just be doing stuff part numbers, but kind of the intermediate plan, I just want to focus on getting as much of that value up as quickly as possible. The faster we can make the $1,800 back, the better. And I do want to focus on getting a lot of the value up, but on the other hand, I mean, I only have to do 90 sales where I net $20 to make my $1,800 back. And I think out of all that, I can probably find 90 items that will net me $20. So I feel really good about the ROI and all that right now, I say, before I even list a single thing. But definitely I think strategy is list the big expensive stuff and then just power through just listing these. And we'll kind of go into how we're going to try to improve the process a little bit in a while. But yeah, for now, I'm just going to show off some of the items we got. Actually, I'm going to go clean off the table in the other unit. We'll do it in there because it is cold out here in the wind. Yeah, so actually, we'll show off some of the cool stuff we got before we get, straight into the super boring computer work. All right, so went over and I grabbed a couple parts just to show you real quick. Just because I kind of make a point. So a lot of these, like kind of when I just buy parts like from people around here or whatever, even if I buy a smaller load sometimes, or from different places, whatever, it's kind of no name stuff, or it's really off brands that aren't very well documented. A lot of these auctions that I see, not just this one, but a lot of the other ones that I've been watching, they're big brands, and there's a couple benefits to it. One, they tend to have very good pictures that you can use, very good stock photos, but also the fitment is very, very, very well documented. It's not like a case of like some of the suspension stuff I have where I'm just finding one part number on this piece and then I personally have to go find the fitment for that and find, no name examples that have that inscription on there. No, nothing. It's not happening with like, this is a Wix XP 57060 XP oil filter. That's well documented, exactly what it's going to fit. Bosch brake pads, a Moog link kit, and then a Cardone power steering pump that I'm leaving in the box because it's actually packaged in there really good. So no offense, but he sucked to get open the first time I did it, and it's packaged in there nice. We're going to leave it packaged nicely so I don't have to do it myself. But I mean, like a lot of stuff like this, they're very easy to list, and that's what gives me a little bit of confidence about listing, like 1,200 items, for example, is it's not going to take hours and hours and hours to find good pictures or take good pictures. It's not going to take hours and hours and hours to find the fitment. Literally, when I looked up all these just to get an idea of the prices, fitment was right there in my face. Some of the listings for them on eBay or even from auto stores, it just tells you the fitment right there. It's super easy to get, and that saves a lot of time. And especially having the manifest, if I get stuck, like really stuck, I can just go in there, pull up the Amazon listing for it off the manifest and kind of get a trail going from there too. So it is very helpful. And then obviously you get brand recognition and stuff that helps sell too, and it can bring value up because we get a lot of the other stuff over there, even AC Delco, Dorman, GM Genuine, quite a bit of GM Genuine in there, which sells great. I love selling GM Genuine. It generally sells for a bit more. It's a genuine part. Fitment's very well documented. And I mean, it's an OEM fit. It's about as good as it's going to get. If it's not fitting your car, then that's your problem. So I do appreciate having the kind of name brand stuff. It makes a big difference both in listing and in selling. You do get a lot of perks for that. And some of the bigger brands actually have their fitment loaded into eBay. So when you make your listing, it pulls that for you. And there's been plenty of times where I will list something and eBay actually had more fitment for that item than even I could find on the websites and stuff. So that part's pretty cool. I wish they would expand it to more brands. But for a lot of the big ones like AC Delco and all that, it's very, very well documented, even within eBay. So I would definitely say, like with this oil filter, a lot of the filters are definitely going to be kind of the chaff. There are filters of every brand, kind, type over there. I mean, both, oil and transmission, but also air filters, stuff like that. So they're not generally super expensive. I mean, this little bad boy is like $10 on eBay. But we probably still make our $1.48 back unless we got to ship it to like California or Alaska. I guess in which case we'll just take the loss on the nose. But a lot of this other stuff, like this is kind of what the middle of the table is going to look like. Yeah, this is a Moog link kit. I think it said it was for a newer Jeep Renegade. But I mean, this is very well packaged. It's great. It's got all the hardware on it that it needs. No big dings, scratches, busted threads, nothing. And if that's what the middle looks like, I mean, this is a $30 to probably $40 thing, just from what I was looked at real quick. And this is, I mean, $20 to $40 is, I mean, several hundred items right there in the middle of that manifest. So there tend to be, most of it actually has been pretty good. There's definitely some trash, but pretty much everything that I'm seeing so far, everything, a lot of what I'm seeing so far has been packaged really well. And that's actually, I have this Cardone power steering pump. I'm actually not taking this out of the box because it's packaged so good. I opened it and it was packaged super good. And I'm just leaving it in there. I will probably kind of move it around, make sure it's all good. We'll check it out. But otherwise, like, it's just going back in the box and staying in there. And it's got the UPC, it's got the part number, got the brand. So, I don't know. I'm super happy with that part. This is about $50 to $60 on eBay. The brake pads, a lot of the brake pads that I get, like generally, tend to be kind of garbage. They fall open, they get scraped. People return like 3 of them, or they return the roll brake pads, or they're missing the hardware, whatever. But this one, and there's definitely some boxes that fell apart over there. That's not great, but quite a few of them are still sealed, or they're like this, packaged up really well. They're all in there. Hardware's in there. You can just put this in a poly mailer, package it up a little better, and you're good to go. So yeah, I don't know. It's really encouraging because, I mean, yeah, it helps with listing speed, helps with having some brand recognition, can definitely help bring the value of certain things up. Like, I think these are for an older Trailblazer, if I remember correctly. And I'm not just selling no-name brake pads. I'm selling Bosch brake pads. So I really like that aspect. I think, like, a lot of it, like, am I excited to go sell this Wix oil filter? No, I am not. I have no desire to list this. I have no desire to sell this. But $10 is $10. And it's easy. I'm not, if I had to mess around finding fitment for this, there'd be no way I'd ever do it. Like, reading the little numbers all over it and doing that with a no-name brand that barely exists on Amazon, that is a pain. But it'll be fast. It'll be easy. Photos I can use, widely available fitment, will be good to go. So I just want to say that is definitely the biggest part about buying loads this way. It's manifested, tends to be a lot of name brands. And, makes it easier to sell, easier to find fitment, easier to find pictures, as I said 5 times. Yeah, I don't know. That part's really encouraging to me. So, yeah, we're going to get some of these listed up. I think this is kind of where we're going to start just for today. So I guess I'll meet you guys on the computer. So we're here on the computer. Just want to show you guys my listing process. Partially just kind of to, ceremoniously list the first item, but then secondarily just kind of to see how I do it now. I'm interested to see how we improve this process. I think listing 1,200 items is definitely going to require us to have some improvements, some changes. So I'm just going to kind of show off how I do it now, and then we'll come back to, we'll kind of do a little bit of a closeout. But so you see we're kind of here on the eBay listing screen. Kind of the way I like to start if I'm listing a part. The part that we're going to be listing is the Moog Case 750795, that little link kit that I showed off. Looks like this bad boy right here. So really the first thing I want to do, if it's a part that's kind of a name brand thing, I just want to start off by putting it in here and seeing if eBay has fitment for it. One thing that I was finding when I was doing listing before is if I put it at kind of the end of my title, eBay couldn't always find it. But so you'll see right here it says suspension stabilizer bar Moog, and then you just kind of confirm K750795. Pull it up, it is new. And then it will give us a couple of stock pictures that we can use. Sometimes I use these, sometimes I don't. Generally, I like to compare them against kind of just what's available, but as you can see, this is the picture I was debating using. It's the exact same picture, so we'll probably just use the stock photos in this situation. But if we scroll down, you'll see that it has this compatibility section filled out. And this is really kind of truly an annoying section to fill out by hand, because you can see there's 321 vehicles that this link kit fits. So adding all those by hand is kind of a huge pain, especially as you see that these get really specific, like specific packages, doors, every engine size. It's very specific. It takes a while to fill out. So that's why I really like when you get name brand parts, a lot of times that's filled out and it saves a lot of time. But we'll kind of look at, I like to go to a couple different sites. So you can see I just kind of put it into, well, Yahoo, but Google here. I like to go to the manufacturer website and kind of compare their fitment to what eBay has or what I have. But that's also where I like to kind of pull my information from. So I have ChatGPT Pro Plus, whatever it is, and I've made myself some custom GPTs to help me with listing. I was using this eBay listing GPT, but I made this one to help me cross-post stuff over to my website. It only makes me descriptions, not titles, and that ended up being a lot better for me, because it would always make like 100-character titles, and then I'd yell at it to stop doing that, and it would then it would try to do 10 different things, and it would always get confused. But only having it make the descriptions, it seems to do pretty good. And then I just like to come in and just get a lot of the details, a lot of their wording. Hey, a clunking noise after you hit a bump is a good indication your sway bar could use some TLC. That's something that my GPT is going to take, not verbatim, but it's something that's information that it will take, and you can kind of see, it'll think about it for a minute, and then it has a standard format that it kind of pops out for me. Kind of with some more factual kind of parts up here in the features, specs, and the compatibility. Some part references, what the package includes, special notes. And I found that this has been really good for being really clear on what it fits, as well as kind of giving some specifics. I don't really get as many questions since I started using these descriptions. So we're actually going to take this description right now, and we're going to paste it into that description right there. We're just going to go over it, make sure it all looks good. 2018 to 2016. It says the front wheel drive goes up to 2019. Pull these off. So, but if it comes down to it, I will trust, Moog suspension.com's, fitment over eBay's. But there's sometimes eBay has ones that, the other websites don't have too. So it's just kind of something where you got to be careful. But this one says 2020 to 20. Oh, wait, what does it say if I can click on it? 2015 to 2022 kind of for the Jeep Compass. And it says, you can see kind of 2015 to 21. Or 2017, 2022 for the Compass. Did I have that right? Oh, it's the Renegade. That was 2015. So that looks pretty good. The features and specs, like I said, designed to reduce the suspension clunking over bumps. That was its kind of take on this sentence right here. So you can see it kind of takes it and words it a little bit differently, but it keeps that information in there, which I really like. Talks about the grease fittings, the OEM numbers. Yep, I think we're good to go there. And then for price, what I like to do is come over here, and I like to pick kind of just one of the years of vehicles. So we'll say, so it's we'll say 2020 Jeep Compass. And then this is does it say where it fits? Front sway bar end link. Front sway bar end link. And I'll kind of show you why we do it. So here, if you kind of look, they generally are sold in pairs, so we can get some information about how they're being sold now. Mostly in pairs. We only have a single one. So we'll kind of scroll. Maybe we'll click on the sold, see how they're selling. And it's mostly showing pairs, right? So if we can kind of find a single one, which we're not going to, but how much did that pair sell for? So 54, looks like they took an offer, was on sale from 78. On February 4th, and then there's some different styles, but then there's whole kits. So, kits will always sell better. So we've only got one. So I think for price, I'm probably going to go, it's 54 for the two of them. I'm going to go with like a 24.97. I like going 97 over 99. I don't know if it helps. It just makes me feel better. The other nice part about using the eBay fitment is we'll fill out some of the item specifics for you. I honestly generally don't mess with item specifics that much. I think I should, and that's one of the things that I want to learn to start doing better. And then for my custom SKU, I'm just going to put the one that I'm going to use in here. I'm going to kind of be changing up how I do the custom SKU system, but for now it's just part number, the type that it fits, and then it's S for SUV, C for car, T for truck, and V for van, and then 1 through however many I have. So there's some where I'm up to 4 or 5. Most I'm only on 1, but I'm going to change up how I do this. I'm not going to go too in depth into that right now. And then, yeah, pretty much this is ready to go. I personally have not been promoting right now. It shows my return policy is compliant with the requirements for the auto parts, which is a newer thing. I'm not going to promote. I don't have any disclosures to put in. Is there anything else I wanted to add? No, I think that's what we're going to go with. So it should list up just fine. And yeah, so we should be good to go. And I'll tell you kind of the reason that I like to search it this way, because if we search for Moog K750795, a lot of what you're going to find, oh, there is actually some in here, nice. A lot of times the ones with part numbers, they don't sell as well, because if you want to buy a part for your car, you got to think about it. If I own a Compass or a Renegade and I'm trying to buy that part, I'm looking up the part that I need and the car that I have. If I don't know the part number already, I don't necessarily know to look it up. But this one, actually, they do sell quite often as his part number. So maybe if I was actually thinking and done more research, I would have listed it as the part number, because that one's 29. That's about what I listed at. So I might actually go change that. Normally, part numbers don't sell as often or really often at all, and they tend to be really overpriced. Like you can see, well, that one's for a pair. This one's just for one. But they tend to be a lot closer to this price because people are just going in, kind of seeing the part number, seeing what they are, and listing really close on eBay. This is actually really reasonable. How many solds were there? It was one for $23, $34, $23. Honestly, even if we get $23 for it, it's a pretty small box. I bet you shipping is only going to be probably $5 to $8. Probably maybe $6 to $10, I'll say, just to be on the safe side, because I'm probably going to put in a poly mailer. Interesting. All right. Well, yeah, that's our first item listed up. So yeah, kind of a weird one there, but yeah. So that puts us back up to 400 listings. We were actually under 400 listings. So we're starting our first item listed off the new pallet at 400 listings. And so I think that's just gonna about do it. We got everything off the truck. We got it unloaded. We got first item listed. And I'm down here now, kind of like I said at the start of the video. I'm recording this at the same time, getting some more stuff listed. So hopefully I'll have a bigger update for you guys next time. Maybe we'll actually have accomplished something exciting, get a sale we can talk about or something. But yeah, for now I think that's gonna do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. We're gonna have more content coming out soon, hopefully. More long form stuff, and maybe kind of split this up into some short form stuff. Trying to do some new ideas. Really want to grow content and an audience of some variety this year, or at least try. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you hopefully in the next one. Rather that's the car part series of the furniture. I don't know. I'm working on the furniture, but it is still kind of cold out here, so it's still a bit annoying to do furniture. So we will see what comes next. But yeah, thanks you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one.